Yeah, I mean, these are all PPD heroes that they're getting rid of here on Jaguares. I think he's in their head. It's a little bit funny to see. Getting rid of the Chen, I'm not sure was necessary, though he has done some serious work on it so far this tournament. And there's Sadboys grabbing the Leshrac. So the way that they play on
DNM's
Sad,
taking it mid every game.
yeah, he's been taking it mid every game, and they seem to want to grab the enemy's mid tower and just take control of the map and have access to their side while defending their own tower like hell on PPD.
Yeah,
Radiant must choose.
that's exactly it. All right, Jaguares grab their Shadow Demon. Now, this is something that Thunder Predator was running, if I'm not mistaken. Was it not Thunder Predator that's been taking the Shadow Demon? Who was it? Was it Beast Coast?
Yeah. The Shadow Demon? That's Team Brazil has been taking a little bit of the Shadow Demon, right?
Is it? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it was. It was Team Brazil. Thank you. I was like, I know it was one of the South American teams, but I couldn't remember exactly which one. But yeah, it was Team Brazil who's been taking the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, they took it both series against four Zoomers, and they took it at one of the games against Beast Coast as well. So they've had a lot of success with it. Jaguar is probably wanting to take a something from their book here, given the fact that Team Brazil is one of the better teams or stronger teams right now in this tournament.
I'm a little bit confused on the Enigma pick because you take this into the Shadow Demon, who is one of the great counters to Enigma, at least until you have BKB. But Sven, I'm assuming is the main reason they picked this up. The demonic purge onto the Sven makes it very difficult for him to move around in these fights.
Well, it's a little bit of everything. I mean, they've got Sven, Snapfire, Leshrac, and Enigma. You're worried about chain stuns, and Shadow Demon will be able to interrupt that. So they can't get a jump on this lifesteal, then keep him locked down. They'll be able to throw out the disruption onto lifesteal, then he'll be able to jump out, rage, and open wound somebody afterwards.
I like that.
You won't have the same issue that we saw Sammy Boy have in that last game where he just got chain stunned down and didn't manage to get the Sunder off.
We're looking for a PPD hero here. It honestly could be something as simple as like Crystal Maiden.
10 seconds.
For a route for the Void Spirit. I'd imagine they just need another slight lockdown. Oh, Earth Spirit. Okay. That was not what I expected.
No, I mean, that gives you even more kill potential in the mid lane pre-6. I mean, I really like rotations of Earth Spirit early on in the game. I was expecting somebody who could stand further in front of his team, though. I mean, this feels a little bit all in and PPD. It feels like a little bit disrespectful to Jaguares. It feels as if you're always going to get the jump or hoping that you're always going to get the jump on the other team here with Sadboys' lineup. It's not what you see from other teams pick up in this patch.
Yeah, not at all. I'm assuming this means it's PPD on the Snapfire, right? Because he's not playing the Earth Spirit. It's got to be Snake King, right? And we'll be seeing Moo on the Enigma.
I've never seen PPD play Earth Spirit before.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't really see him ever play the hero, so I'm assuming he's on the Snapfire. And yeah. I mean, 5 Snapfire is fine. It's not bad. You have double stun between Sven and Snap, and now they have to pick an offlaner here that can potentially still survive this. There's not many. Timbersaw still in the pool if they want to go for Timbersaw, but it's a lot of magic damage between those two heroes. And your only counters with a Phoenix. I think Timber could still work. Underlord wouldn't be a bad option.
Underlord's decent here, locking them in place. I think you need more solutions to deal with this Sven, though. Just Lifestealer by himself is going to struggle a little bit. So some sort of a hard lockdown offlaner that can stun him up.
You also need something for the Phoenix, right? You have no egg combo right now. So this is... Granted, the egg is probably to get shredded by the Snapfire if given the opportunity.
I think it's Axe. I'm not sure what else fits here.
I feel like Axe doesn't do anything this game. Like he just... I mean, it goes Blade Mail, right? That's about it.
Oh, no. Pango's still in this draft.
Pango wouldn't be bad, actually. Pango could work. Mob plays a lot of Nature's Prophet, though.
Yeah, but you run into the same issues that you run into with Sadboys. So it's just one team getting a jump on the other if you pick up a Nature's Prophet here.
Yeah.
I think you need a Dangler here, Ricky.
I agree. The Dangler is essential. Nature's Prophet, I mean, gives them no front line besides the Lifestealer. You can go in deep with the with the Void Spirit and the Nature's Prophet, but you're going in deep against a Leshrac Enigma, so it's not going to go out. It's not going to work really well. Ooh, okay, that's an offlane CK or a mid CK.
That is.
It's offlane. It's offlane. Yeah, Hayden.
Tane, Benny on the life stealer here. This is not something I'm a fan of. I think, yeah, I don't know. This is just not something I'm a fan of. You have a stun on him. Don't get me wrong. You can do a lot of burst damage with your ultimate as well when you jump onto someone with Reality Rift. But I'm thinking it doesn't fill a unique enough role. I mean, you can do all right in the laning phase, sure, but after that's done, I think the team fight from Sadboys is just going to be too big.
Yeah, the team fight for Sadboys is incredible, and as soon as they have the BKB on Moo, there's no cancel for the black hole outside of the egg exploding or having like defensive disruptions. Wait, yeah, from Ma. Sorry, I panicked for a second. I thought I saw Ma on the Chaos Knight, and I was panicking that this was a 3-position Shadow Demon, but we're not. Yeah, it seems difficult. Sven should have a pretty good time. The lane does definitely favor Chaos Knight, believe it or not, but we'll see how it goes. I don't hate this offlane Chaos Knight. It can work. He does beat the Sven in lane, especially with the Shadow Demon, who does tons and tons of magic damage. The double stuns aren't the best way of dealing with Chaos Knight because he can just regen up a lot off of that Chaos Strike.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how this one goes. I'm not a fan myself, Ricky, but maybe they know something I don't here on Jaguares. Regardless, I'm excited to watch PPD's lineup. What do you drafted here? How this one will play out? Will they get the jumps that they need to initiate these fights on Jaguares, or are they going to be able to catch them out as they try to go on them? They don't have. I mean, they've got one here that's going to save here, potentially two in the late game once they get an egg and scepter on Phoenix. But I don't think the game's going to go that long. Rarely can you justify getting that on your pause 4 Phoenix.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, was this pause 5 Phoenix?
New August 5, yeah. Because you're running Shadow Demon as the 4 for sure. We'll go ahead and stun up the Phoenix. Rolling Boulder comes in. Nice defensive disruption, but you have Split Earth to set up, plus the Scatter Blast. That is an easy first blood here. That disruption does not do anything but helps DNM in that scenario.
Yeah. DNM 276 gold going his way. He'd be quite happy about that one. So sitting himself out, probably 2 null talismans at the start. He'll be able to get the first one, maybe a little bit of extra regen or a mantle. We'll see. They're just standing here, both these teams sitting on top of this high ground. You definitely don't want to try to approach this on Jaguares, though.
Yeah, I love what Benny's done too. He has just zoned Moo off of the Bounty Rune as well. And they're just going to go in once again. Another setup, the defensive disruption. Oh no, into the Split Earth PPD with the Scatter Blast. It's just 2 in a row. DNM gets both kills.
Yeah, so he will get that double null talisman at the start, I feel. He's just gonna
wait for the other one. Oh no, he sent a salve, I think is what it was.
Oh, Tango.
Tangos.
Interesting. I thought he'd send it out right away.
But I mean, he's got a completed null and tangos, and he's got a chunk of gold towards his bottle. Does miss that creep in the range creep there in the mid lane, but I mean, this is as good a start as you can get on Leshrac here.
I'd like to apologize, by the way. I kept on glancing away during the draft and getting distracted. I left my door open just a little bit. My cat managed to get into my room.
Oh, no.
I've got tons of cables around my computer.
Oh, no. That's pretty funny. It's all good, man.
One of the 2 cats, Chloe. The other one, Bogdan. One's got a normal name. The other one sounds like a 40-year-old Russian who chain smokes.
Yeah, it's all right. I have one named Meatball, so it's fine. Well, I did have one named Meatball.
Oh, no.
He's still alive. I just can't have him in my house. Feels bad.
Pray for me, Paul. He's still alive. He's fine. Just can't be here right now. PPD. I'm just going to trade back and forth here. I don't mind Snapfire on the pauses 5, to be honest. No, not that many people run it because you want to be able to get that egg and scepter as quickly as possible just because it does so many different things. But, you know, even as a pause 4, you do so much damage with Mortimer Kiss. You have a decent setup with Snapfire, Cookie, and Scatterblast. You know, amazing harass and kill tool.
Benny's just running down the Eidolons every time Moo spawns them, which is, you know, a pretty solid way to go about it. He's not going to get the range deny there either, and he's forced to just TP.
Yep. I like how Benny stayed on the Enigma there. You really aren't sure whether he's going to TP the tower or the base. But given the fact that he went to the tower there, that ends up paying off for him. Now he can't come anywhere close to the lane. Otherwise, you're I guess time that you spend hitting is kind of wasted when you could have gotten the Eidolons instead. But big payoff. Snaking to make things a little bit easier for Moo here, though. Drags the creeps between the tier 1 and tier 2 tower.
That's always a nice assist you can get from your 4. And Moo should be able to get plenty of experience here. He'll get level 2 in the demonic conversion. You could also pick up a single point in the Malefice if he feels necessary.
Yeah. We'll see how he decides to skill this one. I mean, the Malefice, it's not going to do wonders against Benny, but against Phoenix, it becomes very hard to dive away.
Yeah, you have to time it right after the tick hits. You have to immediately dive, and then you only end up getting about half to a 3/4 of the dive distance.
Yep. No, it's a very useful rundown tool for him. It looks like he's just second point demonic conversion makes sense as you mentioned, and then he'll probably get it at 4. Now that I think about it, because you want to have a little bit of kill potential after the laning phase ends. You don't want to go all in on this midnight pulse.
Yeah, you also want to be able to force Benny's rage too.
Yeah. That's something. Although, I mean, Black Hole in 2020, this ability does so much damage. It used to do like half of what it currently does at level 1. It does 100 pure damage a second.
That sounds pretty good.
Used to do more the closer to the center you were in. Now it just doesn't really matter. Anywhere you catch them inside the Black Hole does full damage. So 400 pure damage and the lockdown on top of any spell lamp you might have. And the gun null talisman. So it's basically a free kill onto Benny with anybody else up here.
Yeah, Sven is just slapping Shadow Demon in the bottom lane. A lot of harassment coming out from those two. Haynes having a pretty decent time, though. He's not really being pressured. He didn't go for a single point in the Chaos Strike yet. I expect him to level it there. There it goes. And now you have Sustain.
Yep. It doesn't work quite like it used to. It's just going to go on him. They don't care. Haynes, he's got to be careful. Ma hesitates on dropping out that disruption and then finally use it on PPD. But just like that, you have to use your salve. So there goes your sustain.
You know, Caster's Curse. There's the first one. It's fine.
We talked about Arkosh being a cursed team. Ricky, you are truly a cursed caster.
I am indeed a cursed caster. Every time I talk someone up, they immediately die. Hayne bottom lane trying to trade well into the Sven, but that Warcry giving him so much survivability, and the magic damage coming in from Snapfire and the Sven Stormbolt's just quite a bit. Plus, not to mention, there's a massive creep wave here. Oh, PPD pulled under tower, but Stormhammer has to pop that wand.
PPD had 10 stick charges as well. He wasn't in tons of danger. I'm not even sure Haynes should have committed onto that one. He's feeling a little bit safer with his raindrops, but PPD managed to snag himself a bounty rune from Ma, who wasn't in position at the time. Didn't have the disruption off at cooldown just yet when that happened. Bottom lane.
Again, I mean, this is where all the action is. They're going to be able to get the melee, range, scatter blast, one more auto attack rolling in from Snaking. He just finishes him off with the boulder. Great rotation there from the Earth Spirit, and PPD in Fear just wrapping around like that. Mid lane, though, a huge rotation onto DNM with 3 heroes. He has the Pulse Nova doing a lot, but they all barely survive. All right, a trade around the map.
Yeah, Mini finally getting a little bit of recovery here. We haven't talked about mid lane at all. Snaking just going to yap sword this lane for a little while until DNM comes back up. Yeah, we haven't talked about mid lane at all. Leshrac had a serious advantage at the start of this one with 2 kills before the lane even started. But net worth now in favor of Mini, actually, by 1 gold. Look at that. Beautiful. You love to see it.
That is an incredible performance here from Mini.
He's managed to, I guess, trade for CS. You have a bit of an advantage just having more base damage than the Leshrac, and of course, Quelling Blade to work with, but still, with the massive amount of gold advantage you had to start on Leshrac, you think that the lane would go a little bit more in favor of DNM, and he's doing pretty well for himself.
Yeah, that rotation like really stabilizes his lane a lot.
I'm getting some comments. They want the cat to cast. I'll see what I can do if I can get Chloe on the mic this next game.
Very cool. I'd be down. Bottom lane, Stormhammer comes in, setting up another rolling boulder and the cookie, the level 2 scatter blast. It's interesting, he went for a point in the little shredder. Normally you don't pick it up that early, but it's a great dewarding tool, so I'd have to assume that's why.
I think you want it at 4 on Snapfire because you're wanting to max out Scatter Blast, but you're always going to want a tool for Phoenix Egg for when it comes online. That's why he's getting it this early. If you're playing a mid Snapfire, it's different.
Nice catch there by DNM. Unable to get that dive off in time.
He finds himself a Keen Optic as well, so a lot of
Bunch
mana
of jungle items coming out.
I'm not sure. Well, you're going to be very happy about an Arcane Ring here on Void Spirit. It's one of the best items you can find. If he gets himself a Royal Jelly as well. Oh, it's a big stack that he's got here, too. I mean, he's going to pull even further ahead of DNM after he clears this one out. Unfortunately, he has to use his Astral Step charges for this one, so he can have a bit less kill potential for a minute here. His mana's also sitting pretty low. And an Iron Talon now for Benny. You'll love to see it.
Yep, so many good jungle items here.
I usually prefer the Broom Handle on Lifesteal just because his base damage is so low, but given the fact that he's already got his Phase Boots in
Black Hole just committed top. DNM can fit this right with the Split Earth. Okay, you talked about it. Black Hole's kill potential.
Yeah, that's 100 pure damage a second. There was no way for him to stand up to that one. It is absolutely insane. And Lifesteal, you know, despite the fact that he's a strength hero, doesn't have much strength. I mean, only gains 2.4 per level. That's worse than a lot of heroes in this game. Leshrac has higher strength growth rate than Lifesteal, at least or not. As does Enigma. Dota 2 be crazy. 4-man shield now found on Red Spirit. I'm curious as to who they're going to give that one to. He might just keep it on himself.
Yeah, we'll find out. PPD bottom lane just soaking up some XP, but he's got to be careful. Phoenix and CK are nearby. Oh, tower gets denied. All right, Benny, pretty okay with that. But still, you got to manage to take a tower before that 10-minute mark. DNM hasn't been able to pressure mid too much. Just a little bit of damage on the tower. 4 points in Edict. You would really like to be able to take down this mid tower as soon as possible.
That seems to be the name of the game for Sadboys. I mean, that's one of the reasons why they value the Leshrac so much. They defend their mid tower like crazy, and they tend to take the enemies quickly. So around the 10-minute mark, we'll see them rotate with the bounty runes and take that tower with Catapult, probably. I'm surprised the PPD isn't dead yet.
Well, speak of the devils, they go ahead and commit Phantasm to stuns, but is a tanky hero. He's got Mortimer Kisses as well. Hits the cookie onto the CK. Hits him with that little shredder as well. Fears rotation. I mean, I think he wanted the mana for Mortimer Kisses here as opposed to that little shredder. Didn't really do much of anything. Yeah, ain't able to juke downward. They guessed correctly as he's stuck in the trees now. We'll go ahead and hit a nice little dash there, but Mini comes on in. PPD will be the first to fall for the Radiant, and I think it's time to back. I don't know if you have much kill potential here. Oh, I take that back as they roll in onto Shadow Demon. Double kill for DNM and Mini as well. Starting to fall a little low. No Astral Steps. Does have a Dissimulate, but you're just going to come down into these enemy heroes here. And Mini will just try and clean up some creeps, but triple kill for DNM.
Yeah, serious mistake there by them. I thought the fight would go their way, but no Phoenix ult at this point in the game. He's only sitting at level 4 because he's the pause 5. They can't commit their one hero down there either. Moo's going to drop it top to Benny here, though. That is a nice find. But Shadow Demon, he died before he got anything off in that team fight. That was one of the major things that it cost him. I think if he had managed to get the Demonic Purge off onto somebody, they'd be able to click them down with the Void Sphere, but they got absolutely nothing there.
I mean, DNM, I mean, we've seen him over and over again as like an all-star in this tournament. He's 7-1 already with Boots of Travel on this Leshrac. I mean, 11 minutes into the game, this guy offers so much kill threat around the map, so you have to be very careful.
Mini. Looking for something down here. Wants a recovery kill. I'm not sure he's going to be able to find anything. They've already just cleaned house here. And they're more than happy to trade the mid tower for the bottom. I mean, that is a great deal for Sadboys.
They're looking for the Phoenix to be able to connect. They can silence him up if necessary, but it's not even needed. So much control, like you pointed out in the draft. Like, these guys can chain stun for days. In that mirrored mid-tier 1 tower, they commit the God Strength, DNM, Edict, and 5. I mean, do you just keep going? Do you keep pushing towers? Or you just...
Well, you're not going to be able to. You're going to struggle to. You're going to really struggle to continue to push towers here because the Fortify with the multi-shot at only 11 minutes of the game does insane damage to your team, especially if they commit onto you. But
nice
again,
stack. They just double stack the jungle creeps here for DNM as he clears out with a Pulse Nova. I mean, that's one thing you could do, I suppose.
Spam this seat to seal Jaguar's defeat.
A classic.
I gotta say, I like your fans, Ricky.
Yeah, they're nice. He's a cool guy for sure.
But I do want to see Jaguares succeed here. Again, I like seeing teams lose, and Sadboys, they're a team with a lot of good players. Snaking had an absolute insane game yesterday on
he did.
Good players. We'll see how this game goes, though. He's doing decent for himself on Earth Spirit. He's actually rushing an Egg and Scepter.
That is... okay.
This is sometimes the build that I go on Earth Spirit. It's not particularly good, but it's fun.
Does Enchant Remnant pierce spell immunity?
It does not. It does for allies, though.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
If you get Remnant the Life Stealer during his raid and kick him out of the team fight, I mean, you would just win.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, can you just turn a Life Stealer into a stone and kick him a mile away? That seems pretty good.
But there's other things you can do with it. I mean, you could turn like Fear into a stone, then kick him far forward in front of your team into the enemies there. So you wouldn't need a Blink Dagger and Agnum Scepter on him. You would just need a BKB at that point. But
like the Mask of Madness BKB SNY build.
Yeah, it's much better to get the eggs on the Snapfire, but PPD is playing Pause 5, so it's hard to justify that one.
Ooh, they managed to go ahead and purge up Snaking, but he rolls away, and there's no chase here. He's just giving him some vision. I mean, both teams spending a decent amount of time just kind of farming. Like, the 4 top heroes are all dead even in net worth. And then it's your offlane heroes that are also struggling. But Moo, I mean, on an Enigma, this hero will eventually start finding gold all over the map. Like, this hero can recover really well.
Yeah. Can for sure. Needs I mean, he's already got the tools he needs to be able to recover. As long as it's difficult for the enemies to come in on you, kill you by themselves, then he can recover. If Lifesteal is just able to walk you down with his armlet or something, then it's a bit too hard.
Bottom lane, these 2 heroes just sitting in the trees. They don't even know it. Hane trying to bait himself. But Snaking without any assistance, I don't think you have kill potential here. He is level 9 on this Earth Spirit, though. He's been able to just soak so much XP solo.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why he's just rushing this Egg and Scepter. He's been able to sit by himself, play this very greedy Pause 4 while his team does other things on the map. PPD is finding absolutely nothing for himself on the Snapfire, but he doesn't really need anything. He's doing his job just by existing. He's going to have Little Shredder to deal with the Phoenix. In fact, Phoenix could just die here, to be honest with you.
Enigma's wrapping around if he can get in range for the Malefice, which he does. Wait a minute. He goes down. All right, Little Shredder. Goodbye, Egg. Well, interesting enough. Enigma is still here, does have Black Hole and everything available if he decides to...
Oh, no!
Oh, you love or hate to see it, depending on the fan. Moo contemplating his life's choices, but the Mortimer Kisses might be enough to finish off that Chaos Knight. Can he get in range for the Stormhammer? He can't. Oh, boy.
And the Warcry expires. Hane gets away. They get absolute... Well, they got the Shadow Demon there. They ended up getting the Phoenix at the start of the fight, but Moo...
Benny mid lane. Stormhammer. They caught him, and the silence. Oh, my good. Okay, well, now they get something more out of it.
Yeah, there's that chain stun that we were talking about. I mean, the guy just wasn't able to do anything. Thinks he's safe, then boom, he's blown up.
Yeah. Easy setup from Geomagnetic Grip. A fantastic instant silence. Oh, and a convenient bounty rune still there. Yeah, that was, not the best Black Hole by Moo. It's the second one of the day that we've watched that happen to. The thing is, though, is as soon as they win on him committed, he just pops mech and, magic wand, and they're like, oh, this guy has a lot of health still. He's very tanky, and they just Delta split immediately. Bait out that Black Hole really well.
Snaking sitting by here at the mid lane. Looks like he wants to set up on the Chaos Knight.
The cookie as well, just to continue to keep these stuns, but Ma with a nice defensive disruption. They're looking for the Leshrac, but Chaos Knight falling really low. Snaking comes in with the Magnetize, doing what he can, but there's going to be that Phantasm from Hayne, and they will turn it around, take down Snaking without losing anyone.
The heal coming out 2 points in the center, doing enough to keep Hayne up in that team fight there. Snaking, I almost think he should have kicked the Chaos Knight back into the rest of his team.
Yeah, that might have worked. Might have worked because the defensive disruption, like we said, it's a great save on the side of Jaguares. It's one of the only ones, so if the Shadow Demon's not around, they're just going to be easy pickoffs here for Sadboys.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the both Enigma, Shadow Demon, Bane, and Outworld Devour are all very good at. They can interrupt that chain disable onto hero. So with people like Juggernaut, Lifestealer, it is an amazing save, and that's why I really like Shadow Demon as a pick here. That we struggled to do his job so far.
They smoke up here mid lane. They're wrapping around looking for the 18-minute power runes. You have no mana here on DNM. They could just go top, look for one of these heroes, or it looks like they're going to invade the triangle in Fear. He's going to be the first one that they find. Going to be caught with that Reality Rift. A nice stun into a Remnant. Not much you can do here at this point. Great timing on the spells from Jaguares as they managed to pick up a nice kill there for themselves.
There's no way that Fear gets out of that. I mean, even if he managed to survive that initial burst, one more Resonant Pulse was going to come out from the Void Spirit, who has his Aghanim Scepter complete, so it's silent stopping any Stormbolt defense that he might have had. Moo up in the top lane, BKB still, Black Hole still 15 seconds from being off a cooldown. It looks like Mini knows that, wants to take advantage of this, get on top of this guy.
He has Guardians, though, so he's not super scared. You do have to be careful. It just goes for the TP. Oh! The last second, the level 4 dissimulate damage, it was enough.
They dropped the tip on him as well, just for good measure. The BM coming out from Jaguares, taking out Moo, who's having an awful game so far. Bottom lane, Snaking having a great game.
And they just managed to take down Ma, and now Benny, I mean, he rages offensively and goes in. PPD's just going to TP. Benny goes for the Infest and now tries to run away, but the Lightning Storm slows. They're too damn much. That's the Aghanim Scepter here coming out from this Leshrac. Mortimer Kisses there, just chewing through them as Fear just pops that God Strike. They don't care. They're going to chase for more Nuages. He's going to get caught by Snaking. He has Boulder Kick as well, but he's able to dive himself away for the time being.
Yeah, Snaking hesitant to commit too much on him. He went the wrong direction, though, and Nuages is going to get away. Only one rock left on Snaking, so he's going to have to chill for a little bit. Otherwise, he could keep chasing.
Yeah, the damage from Fear in that fight, I mean, he just did so much work, and so did the Leshrac. I mean, these guys almost 2,000 damage apiece. Seems like you almost don't need anybody else if they can stick on their heroes.
I mean, this Aghanim Scepter that people started building on Leshrac, it is so insane. That Ghost couldn't get away. I mean, you're committing, what, only 40 mana a second for such a massive amount of slow? Mini's doing great for himself, though. Manages to find himself a kill onto Snaking over here.
A little bit too aggressive positioning, it seems. Maybe going for some D wards. I'm not sure, but
I think he might have just been continuing to hunt Nuages on this Phoenix. That was long over, though.
Fear mid lane with the help of DNM. You don't have the BKB quite yet on the Leshrac, but they are going to go ahead and try and get those slows. Wait, what a beautiful Remnant from Mini actually to cancel that. He immediately commits that Phantasm, but these slows. This Aghanim Scepter, what do you do to this? You can't move. Oh my goodness.
If he gets on top of you, you're gone. That's an excellent counter out even to the saves, disruption coming out from Shadow Demon. And you can interrupt the chain stun, but you can't do anything about this slow that activates once every second. When he hits level 20, there is absolutely no walking away from him. They have a decent hero against it. I mean, Lifestealer, if he can stay on top of Leshrac, you can blow him up and take him out of these fights, but he needs the Basher first before he can do anything.
Nice clumsy net use bottom lane, and the chain stuns are there. DNM now beyond godlike. Dude, DNM has been owning this whole game, this whole tournament.
Yeah, I mean, he got the 2 kills at the start, made his lane a little bit easier. Died 2 Mini in the mid lane after that, but since then, you know, he's like, all right, yeah, I'll give you 1. That's not happening again after that. I think, yeah, he's really doing a great showing. He's, despite being like the newest, freshest player on Sadboys lineup here.
Yeah, absolutely.
He definitely got one of the best performances.
He's an up and comer, man. You love to see, you know, new blood in the NA scene, and Shout out to PPD for giving this guy a shot, not only in these qualifiers, but in the previous ones as well.
It seems to be something that PPD does quite a bit with players. He tends to recognize talent when he sees it and give them a shot on whatever team he's playing with. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but you know, it's how we got Sumail. PPD wanted to bring him onto that, and he ended up having an amazing performance at DAC and won TI that year.
Yeah, those. I mean, it's you're right. He's a talent scouter for sure. Mini a little bit afraid, maybe. Oh, he just doesn't care. Goes in, misses the astral set. All of his spells pretty much committed. He needs to be very careful. Deep dive in here from Jaguares to be able to blow down Moo. There's no black hole now. Snake King in some trouble. Fear caught. Has to go for. He can't do anything. He's just purged up. He's got to be careful. The buybacks coming in from Moo though. He's rolling on the backside. Snake King trying to find something. Mini. On the Void Spirit, nothing left if they can close the gap, but DNM's out of mana as well. Moo, he's just gonna get the TP out. You're kidding. Dude.
Oh my god, Mini managed to get out of that one. I think Moo, he was hesitating to throw the black hole for him and wasn't sure if he was going to be able to dodge it or not. I think Mini's in his head. Yeah, they're probably discussing that one between themselves.
I mean, you get the buyback on the Enigma, and you only lose the Phoenix there.
Phoenix is, I mean, Moo, he's just having a rough game right now. I think a lot of this is coming down to the performance on the Enigma. Still, I'm imagining we're going to see some big black holes before this game closes out. He needs that blink deck. That's one of the major issues. There's a lot of different ways for him to silence it. Or, sorry, to interrupt it. I mean, there could be the dispersion from the interrupt from Shadow Demon. Stop myself because it looks like team fight breaking out here.
Nice four-man silence, and he's able to dissimulate himself, get back, but it baits Jaguares in the middle of nowhere. Now they're going to chase back on Snake King. He gets a great three-man silence. Cookie does catch two. Can they bring down the CK? He's just trying to look for a black hole target. Moo just running around the backside of the fight, but they will be able to take down one and a third. Mini gets rolled over by Snake King, and it's just the Lifestealer that survives it. A completely different fight.
Lifestealer is struggling, or as soon as the rage ended, he's just forced to leave these team fights. I mean, so much damage comes out from the Leshrac, and 4,000 there. He needs the Basher to be able to get on top of him, and he needs to use his Void Spirit as a vehicle. I mean, we talked about the issue of getting on top of Snapfire, but this one's a pause 5. Right now, your major issue is being able to blow up this Leshrac. Considering he's got a BKB now, it's even harder to lock him down.
Yeah, this is a really good timing on spells. I mean, he's 13,000 net worth here. He's going to take the Aegis for sure. They know, you know, DNM, he is the damage dealer for his team right now in these fights. You know, Sven, once he has Aghanim Scepter, that maybe changed, but he's going for an AC first. And this Leshrac just wants to run around in these fights, doing as much damage as possible. This Chaos Knight, his Phantasm doesn't seem to do much of anything. They do see the Lifestealer, but they also see the rest of the team on the backside. Jaguares on the Phoenix once again in trouble, but a nice... Whoa, they blow all their stuns. Yule's going to come out, but DNM pops his BKB. They got to get on top of this egg. Little Shredder is out, and it will finally get popped. Mini almost interrupts it in time, but there's the black hole from Moo, finally getting put to good use. They take down the Lifestealer. Some big spells used here on the side of Sadboys, but it pays off as they finish off 2, and they still have the Aegis here to go for the high ground push.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do. Diabolic Edict comes out here, and they'll just continue to go high ground, not wasting any time right now.
Well, I mean, Hane went down bottom to Fear, and he does have buyback, but I don't think it matters. Mid-tier 1, tier 3 tower under siege. Fear cutting the wave as well, so that this bottom lane will push. A really smart play by him.
Yeah, holding the fortification for that second Diabolic Edict that just came out, but there's a counter fortify showing their will to continue to push this one, trying to keep the catapult alive. Unfortunately, it does end up going down, but they will lose this tier 3 in just a moment. Mini's
in. Snake King gets cookied the wrong way thanks to the Remnant, and he's gonna pop. No way out. They don't get the tier 3 at the end of the day. Maybe not the best play for Fear to be bottom.
I guess he's just trying to take advantage of Jaguares team being stuck inside their base, get as many resources as possible. PPD, just dropping some all chat lines, but I think honestly they're fine with this one. They managed to get the Assault Cross now done on Fear. Given the fact they only had one of the Raxes, or sorry, one of the tier 3s exposed there, committing too far forward and taking a fight inside the Jaguares base wouldn't... It's not worth the risk when you can only get one Rax.
They just smoke into the enemy triangle. Minis infested, but they're not finding anything. They're hiding mid lane tier 2. Snake King still in base. They're going to respawn in a moment. I'm assuming go for a smoke play of their own. Yes, they do. So Snake King is almost as farmed as the Enigma. He has the Ags, the Urn, going for a BKB, and he's almost half. I mean, he's halfway there. He almost has BKB.
Yeah. Is doing very well.
You have the BKB now, or I'm sorry, the Blink Dagger now on the Enigma top lane. They will be able to take down this tier 1 tower. Benny, I mean, he's got his BKB coming out, which is not the ideal scenario. Like, you don't want to have to buy BKB on Lifestealer, but in this game, he really doesn't have a choice.
No Fortify available. Everybody is forced to the TP back. You see the rainbow teleports coming in.
But, I mean, it's a little too late as Sven and DNM will just continue to focus on this barracks. The boulder kick out. Sphere's safe. That's the Aghanim Scepter there from Snake King. You know, Fear doesn't want to have to commit his BKB that early, and he's going to be just fine.
Yeah, they get back a little bit. Black Bone's still in for another 9 seconds here.
All right, they're out. They get the BKB. He's being earned up. He's got everything he needs.
I'm surprised I saw they took that fight on Sadboys in such a way, given the fact that there was turnaround potential there from Jaguares if they committed super hard onto them before that black hole was available. But using that BKB charge to disengage after they got the racks, it's just trying to take full advantage of this Aegis timing and only lasting for another minute here.
Ooh, Mini with Benny. I mean, the problem is you have 0 Astral Step charges right now. You double Astral Step out of base to try and find something.
The next label play. The next label play. Next label play.
All right, the next level play.
The next level play. This Fury's got the DD. I mean, I don't think Jaguares wants to be.
Oh, they caught the Lifestealer. He does have BKB. Might be forced to use it. The chain stunts. Oh, the cookie the wrong direction. Benny will be able to rage it off. If that cookie was on the mark, he dies. For sure dies.
And I think the game just ends at that point. If he went down, he wouldn't have had buyback. He just hit level 18. Quickening Charm now found by Sven. I imagine they'll pass that over to...
Oh, they found Benny or Mini on the side. I don't even think that was intentional, but a nice defensive disruption. Nuage is trying to do what he can, but the Leshrac just tunnels him down. Now Sven pops that Phantasm, trying to keep these guys at bay, but Mini, he's just shredded on the side of the fight. There's nothing he can do, and Snake King's going to look for more. The roll in super aggressively looking for this Phoenix, and he finds him. The silence is there. The boulder kick. Knock that bird to the ground.
And there's just nothing that they're able to do. Lifestealer and Shadow Demon are still up. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to get another racks from this one. You are going to be able to push the tier 1, maybe tier 2 down in the bottom lane, but tier 3s are not exposed right now. As they just start split pushing out the waves and mitigate the damage as much as possible here on Nuages. You do increase the gold lead with every one of these fights that you do, though, and I don't think this is going to get any easier for Jaguares as the game goes on.
No, not with the BKBs coming out. And Moo, of course, we talked about once he has BKB, there is no way to cancel this ultimate. So you have kind of this trump card of an Enigma that can just completely turn a fight if it's already going bad. But I mean, these fights just seem like a cakewalk here for Sadboys between the damage of the Sven and the Leshrac.
Yeah. Just farms up the enemy team's jungle right now. Finds himself a repair kit. I'm not sure if anyone wants to hold on to this one. He just sends it off into the base.
I love that cooldown reduction on the Enigma because it stacks with your like 15 talent, right? So
137 seconds on your black hole.
Oh, Nuage's mid lane. He's a little bit scared. All right, they don't want to dive. That'd been a risky one for sure. You do have the Blink Dagger on the Chaos Knight who is infested, but yeah, I was unsure, or I was feeling the offlane Chaos Knight. Thought it could be okay, but you were unsure, and boy, you definitely coming out right here on this one.
Yeah, just struggling to do anything in this game. 0-9 at the moment. I mean, some people run it as a pause 3, and sometimes it works.
Oh, look at Phoenix. Not where you want to be. Snake King grabs him in the perfect silence. He's going to roll. He even catches Benny. They do have follow-up here. He forces the rage, but DNM, he can keep chasing. Mini will throw out a remnant to try and stop this.
Yep, unfortunately for Snake King, cooldown rolling boulder is so low they didn't have boulder smash available to knock him back into his team there. I think if Moo hit the Lifestealer with a black hole after he went down, that would have just been game over. because he didn't have buyback prior to clearing out that creep camp that he just got.
All right, Mini going to try and clear the wave, but Cardi still surviving means that they can continue working on this tower. Fear, DNM, he has God Strength, BKB, everything available. He just went Daedalus. He doesn't even care about getting an Ags this game.
No, I mean, he's got all these other heroes that can stay on top of people. He got the other gap closes. PPD's going for an Aghanim Scepter, so that will be his Blink Dagger for him. Or, sorry, his Aghanim Scepter. That's his gap closing ability right there. Not much is going to be able to keep this tier 3 tower alive. I'm just treading through the last of this one with the Diabolic Edict.
Oh, roll in, snaking. He finds the Phoenix again. A defensive disruption, though, will be able to keep him alive. Instead, perfect stun, though. There's no way out. With a BKB, the black hole, you catch the life stealer. He almost gets Hain, but it doesn't even matter. And now the egg on the high ground, trying to keep it alive, but the little shredder makes quick work of that. Comes down from the Yules. Easy split earth setup. Jesus, DNM just has no chill. He's just chewing right through him. And Fear, man fighting up against this life stealer. He's just going to be able to take him down, I think. But the wait, where'd he go? The enchant remnant. Oh my goodness. Ultra kill for Fear. The Mortimer Kiss is raining hellfire. It's a GG.
Did not look like it was, what is it, a 9-10 man wipe there from Jaguares after you consider those buybacks. They had the answer to absolutely everything Jaguares threw out on them. The egg immediately canceled by PPD's little shredder. Lifestealer runs in with his rage. He gets black holed. And Fear, as soon as you think you're going to bring him down, he gets saved there by snaking with that stone remnant. My God. Sadboys, that coordination.
It was so sick. Fear going 10-1-17 and DNM 16-1-16. PPD even 5-1-18. Like the score here is 39-10. Like they just played so dang well in all stages of the game. And again, I'm gonna keep saying it. Honestly, DNM is an all-star on this team. Snaking probably the MVP here though, as he just found so many kills, so many great setups, and his itemization just on point. We weren't entirely sure about the Enchant Remnant Aghanim Scepter, but it did some work this game.
They're going to need to play this one slightly different. Moo, not the best performance this game on the Enigma, but a lot of things that he needed to watch out for. He did his job in the end. I mean, he started by getting a kill on the Lifestealer as soon as he hit level 6 with that black hole and DNM rotating up to the top lane. Then, of course, at the end there, that was the solution to the Lifestealer's farm, just pressing that black hole onto him. You only need to lock me down for like half the duration, even though it was interrupted with the Aether Remnant by Mini. Still enough to bring the Lifestealer down.
Yep. Darn good game number 1 from Sadboys. Their first of 4 games that they have to play today. So Jaguares, will see if they can turn it around. Game number 2. We'll be right back here on the BTS Pro Series Season 4. Stay tuned, everyone.